Sherry, you good? Yeah, that echoed. I like it. It is time to call the July 21st, 2026 Wirt County Board of Education meeting to order. First order of business is our Pledge of Allegiance, and this evening we're going to ask young Mrs. Robinson to lead us in the pledge. You do it from right there.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I guess in all truthfulness, I could have been talking about your mom too, right? Young Mrs. Robinson?
Exactly.
Huh? Okay, I thought somebody Stewart coming. First thing we have here is approval of our agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Okay, on the agenda, under information, we have C that has been added onto the agenda. Wirt County Middle School PBI's model school, and I see those people are here to present to us. Also, we have a name under volunteer chaperones, Lacey Moore for Wirt County Primary Center. And I believe that is it. Anybody see anything I have missed? Okay, so we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Motion carries. Okay, we're down to recognitions. This evening we have with us the Wirt County High School track team and the state track meet results. Now with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. McCown.
So, and you can correct me if I'm wrong and come up, and I've got what was sent to me, 2026 state track meet results. Boys, Tyler Smith, third in 200 meters and third team All-State. First in 400 meters and first team All-State. Caden Seas, fourth in 400 meters and All-State honorable mention. Matt Bayless, eighth in the 3,200 meters. Boys 4x4, 4x400 and third team All-State. Tyler Smith, Brian Long, Matt Bayless, Caden Seas. Boys 4x800, Brian Long, Matt Bayless, Colton Butler, and Lucas Kerfman. Braxton Dennis, 11th in the long jump. And for girls, Allison Bumgardner, 11th in the 1,600 meters. Kaylin Robinson, 15th in the 100-meter hurdles. Lily Cross, 13th in 300-meter hurdles. 4x100 meters, we have Millie, thank you. I couldn't get my brain wrapped around that one. Sampson, I apologize for that. Brooklyn Smith, Sarah Logan, and Emma. And then in the 4x102.5 shuttle hurdle relay, Kaylin Robinson, Lily, Emma, and Brooklyn. Shot put, Riley Hall, and discus, Riley Hall, all state honorable mention. So you want to just talk about your season and anything else you want to discuss?
I think the girls 4x8 was left on our list there.
Okay.
Which the original list we had sent. That was Kimber Nicolay, Skylar Thompson, Lily Cross, and Allison Baumgartner, who placed fourth in that as well. So, it was a really good season for us. The little bit of the class changes really brought out our ability to kind of show and the talent we have at Wirt County. So it kind of leveled the playing field a little bit more for us and really got us to stand out. And it was a privilege to be able to coach them and the seniors that were on the team and things. So, it's definitely something that I think we can continue looking forward to in the years to come.
I would just like to add that there was multiple school records broke this year. This group really worked hard and put in a lot of time and effort. Appreciate that.
Who broke a school record this year? I know some people are gone. I know some are in Europe. And anybody with us tonight? Tyler? Yeah.
Braxton
Good deal. Good deal. And I know you had one young lady that played both volleyball and track, right? Didn't you play? Softball, I'm sorry. You play volleyball too, right? No? Okay. I'm just messing up, okay? That's softball and track, which is pretty neat. Okay, so I'll tell you what, you guys are, I think, the first group that we've taken a picture with in the new room. I'm not quite sure where to do it, but probably over here, I would say. So, we're going to let the coaches get around. We'll keep leading. Guys, come right here. You're welcome to stay, but you will not offend us if you don't.
I saw a couple of looks that were just sheer fear for a second. That's what we should do, start to move that to the end.
Yeah, well, some places do. Yeah. Okay, we're down to under information, and the first order of business is the West Virginia School Board Association future meeting schedule. Mr. McCown.
So that had not come out last board meeting, and it since has. So that is in your packet for you to plan the trainings that you want to attend for the upcoming year.
Any questions? Okay, we're down to B, Wirt County Primary Center benchmark data, and we have with us Mrs. Taylor.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me come and brag on my teachers today and on our students. We have some really good data for the end of the year, and it's going to be over here, so some of you are going to have to turn around.
Yeah, we don't have all of the screens networked yet.
We'll
so.
get there. We'll get there. Well, I'm pressing the buttons. It's turned on. Not just me. Wonderful. We're going to start with math. Maybe. This is where if I had a joke, I would tell it, but I don't have one today. I'm sorry. It's okay, you had a joke. I don't have a joke. We're going to start with math. What is me? What is it? I'm pressing all the buttons. Okay, perfect. We're going to start with math. Third time's a charm. All right, at the beginning of the year, we had 61% of our students one grade level below. We had 18% on grade level. We had 21% two or more grade levels below. At the end of the year, this almost completely flips, and that we have now 61% of our students school-wide on grade level. So this is a tremendous growth, as you can see. We nearly tripled the number of students on grade level. In fact, we did triple the number of students on grade level. And only 29% were one grade level below, and 10% two or more grade levels below. This is a yearly comparison from 2021 to 2026, and you can see the growth here, and we are sustaining our math growth, and that we have 61% of our students on grade level this school year. In the domain of numbers and operations, we went from 20% on grade level to 64% by the end of the year on grade level. We went from 61% one grade level below to 29% one grade level below, and 19% to only 7% two or more grade levels below. This also includes, you guys usually ask me if this includes students with an IEP, and it does. The beginning of the year for algebra and algebraic thinking, 62% of our students were one grade level below, and we reduced that to 25%. 22% were on grade level, and that increased to 67%, and then 16% of our students were two or more grade levels below, and we cut that in half to 8%. In measurement and data, 27% of our students were on grade level, and the end of the year we finished at 60%. 53% were one grade level below, and we finished at 29%, and then 20% were two or more grade levels below, and we went to 11%. And here you can see what a great gain was made even from middle of the year to end of the year. Middle of the year was 44% in yellow, and it went to 29%. So that's a lot of growth from January to May. In the geometry domain, we had 23% on grade level. We finished with 57%. We had 53 one grade level below. We finished at 30, and we had 24% two or more grade levels below, and we finished at 13. Again, some really nice growth. This is a comparison of just the grade levels broken apart. So kindergarten had a growth of 56%. First grade, 59%, second grade, 36%, our third grade grew by 50%, and our fourth grade grew by 19%. So we have some wonderful numbers there of growth broken down by grade level. Our beginning of the year goals were, for math, were 65% of our students will make typical growth. We are currently at 55%. We said we would double the number of students at or above grade level, and we did. And then we said we would decrease the number of students who were two or more grade levels below, and we did that as well. This is our math performance growth. It shows high performance, high growth, low performance, high growth, and the other two quadrants. And you can see the majority of our students, our teachers, our classrooms are in the high performance, high growth, which is where you want to be. So we have some great growth here at the school. Next, we'll go on to reading. This is overall our reading placement summary. We went from 27% in green to 64%, 56% in yellow to 24%, and 17% in red to 12%. This is our yearly comparison from 2021 to 2026. And you can see we continue to show growth in our reading across the board. Phonological awareness, our students and our teachers do really well with this. So at the beginning of the year, we were at 72%. We still had growth to 87% by the end of the year. We decreased the number of kids in yellow from 23% to 10, and we decreased the number of kids in red from 5% to 3%. Phonics, we went from 41% in green to 76%. 37% in yellow to 11%, and 23% in red to 13%. High frequency words, 34% to 78%, 50% to 15%, and then in red, 16% to 7%. Vocabulary, beginning of the year, 32%, end of the year, 62%, 49% yellow to 26%, and then 19% red to 12%. Comprehension of literature, 34% in green to 60% in green, 45% yellow to 24% yellow, and 21% red to 16% red. And comprehension informational text, 31% in green to 58% in green, 44% in yellow to 28% in yellow, and 25% in red to 14% in red. This is a breakdown, once again, of the grade levels and their growth. Kindergarten showed a 62% growth. First grade showed 53%. Second grade, 29%. Third grade, 21%. And fourth grade, a 16% growth. Once again, this is our performance graph of high performance, high growth, low performance, high growth, low performance, low growth. And you can see we have 3 grade levels in the high performance, high growth. Second grade and low performance but high growth, and then fourth grade low performance, low growth. So overall, pretty good math there. Our goals for reading, we met one of our 3 goals. 65% of our students will make typical growth. We made 58%. We would double the number of students on green. We did. Our goal would have been 54%, and we ended up at 64%. And decrease the number of students below grade level by 50%. Our goal was 9%, and we are at 12%. And that's it for this evening. So that's our end of the year iReady benchmark data. If you have
Questions?
any questions?
What's a high frequency?
High frequency words are words they see often that may not follow the typical pattern of decoding.
I'm just curious about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so the kids just, you kind of have to know them. They call them heart words because you have to know them. You can't sound them out because when you sound them out, they don't sound out correctly. So. Any other questions?
I know they took it serious.
Yes. Yes, they did a great job.
My son.
They did a really good job. Like our kids did a good job. Our interventionists did a good job. We had a math interventionist we were able to utilize that really helped move some of these kids from yellow to green. She showed remarkable growth, and our classroom teachers just really did a nice job as well. Our students, like you said, they took it to heart, took it seriously, and you know, end of the year is tough. It's tough to test at the end of the year. It's springtime, and you're ready to be outside, and you're ready to play ball, and you're ready for all those things, and they took it seriously and did a really good job on it. So I'm proud of them, proud of our teachers.
Well, good job, and please let your teachers know that.
Absolutely.
We appreciate the hard work.
Absolutely.
And your students.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we are at C, Wirt County Middle School, PBIS Model School. Mrs. Hickman.
Well, I have part of my PBIS team here this evening with me, so some of them are going to talk as well, so you don't have to listen to me. We have really upped our PBIS program. Obviously, we like to do fun things at the middle school. That's always been the case, but now we kind of wrap that in our PBIS umbrella, which PBIS stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports. We started out a few years ago. Jessica Thays, who's sitting here, she kind of spearheaded our efforts to revamp our program for PBIS is positive behavior incentives and supports, but we also kind of mix that with consequences for our actions at the middle school. So Jessica kind of took it and ran with it with our team, and then when we eloquently stole Callie from the high school, Callie kind of took it over because she was like the PBIS guru, and she jumped in and worked with our team, and then Brady Harris and Eric Harper have been consistently on the team as well. We kind of all jumped in, and next thing you know, we have these lovely visitors coming to interview us because they want us to be a PBIS model school, which there are currently 21 schools in the state who are model schools, but only 6 of those are middle schools. So we're one of 6 middle schools, and basically that means we're an example for others. We're going to be the place that people can come and ask questions or see what we're doing correctly, why our discipline is working. So we may be a host site for other schools to come visit us. So this is a very big deal, something that we're very, very proud of at the middle school, and a lot of hard work did go into that. Let's see. This is still me, right? This is, so we have our PBIS Tier 1 team. We have the folks that are here, and then we have a couple of other people that are listed here at the end as well that couldn't make it this evening. We meet every month. Every other week, we meet with our grade level teams. So administration, Callie, and our counselor, Mrs. Dunkel, all meets with the grade level teams. So we're trying to catch those kids to keep them from slipping through the cracks. If they have something going on, they need a little extra support, The teachers pick up on that, and those bi-weekly meetings give us a place where we sit down and actually document that. In a small school, the beauty of it is that you quickly know when something is amiss, but the downside of that small school, and we all know, is that we don't document it properly. So our PBIS program helps us to document it properly with, those meetings, those interventions that we put in place. We have lots of our staff members who aren't necessarily on our PBIS team that have volunteered to do like mentoring, or if a kid just needs informally checked on each morning. The kid may not even be aware that someone's checking on them each day, but a lot of our staff members volunteer. Actually, no one has ever told us no, so pretty much everyone volunteers, and they just might be that connecting face for that kid each morning when they come in our building. We also have our student leadership team that works hand in hand with our PBIS, that gives them a voice in some of the things that we plan, some of the activities. They give us some input on what they want to do, and the reason why it works so well is our entire staff is really on board. The thing with PBIS is you have to be giving the positive reinforcement as well as the consequences. So my rules have to be the same as their rules, and their rules have to be the same as one another in the classroom so that we're consistent. The kids don't have any surprises or things like that, so they know what they're working toward. So that picture there is when we were playing Pac-Man in the gym on the first days of school. So the kids, we open up our school year with expectations and activities like that. All right, I think Callie is up next.
So, some of you guys may know, whenever you're on the PBIS team, you have to go through lots of training. We've been in a full PBIS implementation model for over 5 years now, and we have been trained consistently for those 5 years. So our PBIS team really wants to pick areas of focus. How can we make the school better? So these are kind of the areas that we focused on in the past couple of years. So monitoring and supporting classroom level behaviors, and you'll see some of the data at the end, as well as how we implement that, has helped keep the behaviors very minor in the school and decrease those big disruptive behaviors. We also focus really heavily on the middle school in promoting individual student responsibility and accountability. We try really hard to communicate to the kids, these are their goals, and it's up to you to earn them. We'll support you along the way, but just because your buddy gets the reward doesn't mean you're automatically going to get it. And we've focused pretty heavily on that and helping the students learn ways to monitor their own progress. We also individualize supports. So in addition to kind of making sure they have that own individual accountability, we want to support them on the way there. And that's where a lot of our data tracking helps reveal what are the best supports for kids, whether it's mentoring like Mrs. Hickman talked about, individual behavior reteach sessions, whatever it takes. And then overall, our PBIS team works with our morale committee and our student leadership team, as well as the administration, to make sure that the school is a positive place for all of our kids and all of our staff, and it's just a fun place to come and learn every day. Our Tier 1 supports, so earlier when you saw the triangle and it was the big green triangle with embedded smaller triangles, Tier 1 means 100% of students receive these kinds of supports or have access to these kinds of supports. So I'm not going to read all of these to you, but our teachers are familiar with using these kinds of supports, and they're implemented pretty much daily or on a rotational basis, and our kids have access to them. For example, our live school system, which Mrs. Sayes is going to talk about a little bit, is how we consistently and timely recognize students' positive behaviors, and then we have things like pop-up rewards that might be twice every 9 weeks to continue to motivate students to do those things.
I'm Ms. Sayes. I teach grade 3 math, and I'm part of the PBIS team. With Live School, this is a program that we use to acknowledge the positive behaviors that our students are doing. I think one of the things that is a common misconception about PBIS is that it's all about rewards and points and tickets and all these things. But one of the things that we really like to discuss with our students is why you're getting the points. You're doing the positive things. We acknowledge that through Live School. And those students that aren't getting those points quickly see, oh, well, I didn't do this or I didn't do that behavior, and that's the reason I'm not getting it. So while you are rewarding the good, you're also making it those who are not doing what they're supposed to aware of things that they should be doing. With Live School, it is a program that all teachers have access to. They can reward points to students. Each student receives a point for every day they are at school, so they know that they can, if they come to school and show up, that is the first step in being there to do the right thing. So they get a point for that. And then teachers acknowledge, for example, if maybe they come to their classroom with all their supplies, or they are walking down the hallway on the right side of the hallway, not being disruptive during class changes. There's all different categories. We have posted around our school the expectations for the different areas of the school, and when we see the students meeting those expectations, we give them points in time. Each student has access to the live school program, and so they can go on there and they can see when they got a point, what it was for, and teachers can even leave comments to let them know what they've done well and give them acknowledgement for that. Students collect these points in a bank on live school, and those points are used to redeem for rewards. We have a wide variety of rewards, like Mr. already said. Some of those rewards are pop-up rewards, some of those rewards are large rewards at the end of the 9 weeks, but they also have passes. Some of those examples are up there that you can see that they can purchase to use in between those big rewards. There's kind of smaller rewards. We try to vary those so that they are things that all of our students are interested in and wanting to do. In middle school, we have 5th graders who love to bring their little stuffies to school, where we have 8th graders who want to check in on social media and things like that. So there's a wide variety of maturity levels, so we try to offer a bunch of stuff that students can find something that they're interested in. A big one has been hat passes. Students love to wear their hats on Fridays, and some of our students who normally wouldn't want to worry about getting a line skipper pass, they're too cool for that in 7th and 8th grade. They will do anything and everything to make sure they have enough points to wear their hat on Friday. So we try to vary those so that we can hit all demographics in our school. We offer a variety of those rewards. Those pop-up rewards are there. These are some pictures of some of the stuff that we have done with our students. We take field trips, try to get our students outside of Wirt County and let them experience some things that maybe they may not have an opportunity to do always here in our community. And we also try to tailor those rewards to things that the students want. So we'll do student surveys, we'll ask them for ideas, we use our student leadership team to develop lists of things that we want to do as reward activities. Some of those activities are not things. Some of our students just love the time with our teachers, with their friends, doing fun stuff. So on our wellness day, we do like bike riding. They bring their bike to school and they get to ride around the community. They get to take their fishing pole down to Mr. Met's pond and fishing. Like, it doesn't have to be these big prizes necessarily, but the experiences are a lot of times some of the most driving rewards that we have. These rewards are also a wonderful opportunity for students to build relationships that are positive in our school and our community. We have many volunteers and many teachers that step outside of that teacher role or that parent role, and they just get to have fun with the kids, and the kids really enjoy that. We also have opportunities for students to be with other students in our school. At the high school, we have a lot of volunteers that come back and help. Some of our middle schoolers love going down to the primary center and reading to the students and being a positive example in that school. So it just builds a great community and a great environment for students to be, so that they are having a positive experience when they're in our school system.
So on the flip side of that, and like Mrs. Hickman mentioned, we also hold our students accountable, and I would venture to say that of the middle schools that are recognized in the state and of all the middle schools that are implementing PBIS, we probably have one of the most robust behavior tracking systems. And that was one of the things that when we did our model school application, they really recognized. We monitor everything our kids do, any minute negative behavior they have, and the reason for that is so it doesn't escalate. So for example, if a student forgets their homework in Ms. Carper's class, they would get a classroom warning. Nothing really happens on that first morning. It's just recorded in a digital system that's completely automated. It takes maybe 10 seconds for the student to fill out, and then we can track that. Once the student has reached 3 warnings within a month, then they have a consequence. So that's when our behavior to reteach program comes in. And that's when, for example, this coming year, they would meet with Ms. Harris for about 40 minutes throughout the day and kind of check in with her and also talk about their behavior, what they could do to improve. We're going to implement kind of a journal system this year as a new thing so they can not only reflect on that verbally with a teacher, but also have a written record of their reflections on their behaviors. And then we also want to make sure that those behaviors that we're tracking, if those escalate or continue throughout the month, we have an escalation plan in place. So for example, you can't just continue disrupting math class every day because you don't like math and continue getting warnings. After the first behavior reteach, your consequences kind of get escalated, and then if they receive 9 warnings within the month, they would be referred to Mrs. Hickman or Ms. Harris. So this system has really worked for us to recognize patterns in student negative behavior and correct those things before they become a bigger problem. On the outcomes of those types of things, here are just some highlights from last year. We had, on average, our students earned 148 live school points in the second semester, so we reset them at the semester mark just to kind of make it easier for the kids to track. We had 129 individual behavior reteach sessions with students. So that's 129 times a student met with a teacher. Last year it was Mr. Galloway who did a lot of those. Ms. Faith helps with some of those, as well as Ms. Hickman, and talked about their behavior. They made a parent contact or sent information home about their behavior. So those were intentional conversations that helped us prevent a lot of those high-level issues. We hosted 12 school-wide student events that were just related to PBIS. Ms. Sage does a lot of work with the Adventure Club, and of course our grade levels have other events that they take care of, but strictly PBIS events, we had 12 of those. We had about 35 students who received Tier 2, 3 behavior supports. So those are typically addressed at around 10 to 15% of your student population. So those are kids that aren't responding as well to those Tier 1 everyday supports, and they need a little extra help to be successful. And then last year we were really proud of the work we did to establish those bi-weekly grade level meetings because it helped us tremendously monitor those 35 or so kids that were on our Tier 2 and Tier 3 list.
Okay, and this is the slide that really packs the punch for me. In 21-22, that is the year I started as assistant principal until about March. So looking at attendance, our overall attendance for the year was 89%. Each year we have increased by a full percentage point. So that's pretty significant gains in attendance. So we're back up to 93% attendance with all of our students. The one on the right is our WEVIS referrals. That first year, 174 WEVIS incidents were put into the system. That is a huge number, and I spent my first year in administration chasing behavior all the time. I've always felt like I was behind it. I was always dealing with large disruptions in our day, not just little things like no homework. It consumed what I had to do every day was discipline. And as you see through that chart, as we've implemented this PBIS program, we are down to this year, I had 49 instances in my WEVIS system, which tracks all of that. And that includes, we have to put any cell phone violations from the bus, any bus discipline, that includes bus drivers bringing issues to me that are put in there. I know just overall in the 8th grade class, you know, talking to the high school, they wanted some data and I was looking at it and they were asking me for like how many kids were suspended more than 3 days out of the 8th grade, and the answer was none. So this has significantly decreased the behaviors that we are dealing with our students. They know that we have expectations, and I firmly believe that kids want expectations and they want high standards. And this is just proof that our kids are meeting those for us. So we're down to 49 incidents. And that's a full list of our team. Ms. Harris, Mrs. Uncle, our counselor, Mrs. Romage, Mrs. Harbarger, Ms. Carper, Ms. Fays, Ms. Harris. Mr. Kirby is our lone male representative. And then our CIS, Taylor Smith, and then Mrs. Darty as well. Taylor and Rebecca are both really great at pulling those kids that we have concerns about through the Communities and Schools program and through our counseling program. So the group that came to visit us was from different areas of the state that specialize in this, and they were very excited to recognize us as a model school, and we're happy that you guys let us come talk about it. Do you have any questions for any of us?
That data was very impressive.
Yes, it was.
When you look at it that way, it explains why, my miles on my watch did decrease after that first couple of years a little bit, but when I first started, I would average 16 to 20,000 steps a day. So,
So is this pre-K through 12 can get this award?
yes, other schools too, and all of our schools do PBIS in some fashion at each of our 3 schools. Yeah, but anyway, you have to go through a process to be recognized. So Callie,
That's what I was wondering, do you feel like your model would work at the high school, just interchanging with different things? Or-
I think parts of it, yeah. I mean, ours is, I think it's easily adaptable to everywhere. It really helps to have people who are truly dedicated and love data. And this team loves data. And just about every other day, there's a spreadsheet of some kind coming through. Look at this. So it is time consuming. It does take a lot of work and a lot of energy. And Jessica has before and still does. And then Callie really puts a lot of work into keeping all of that data and keeping us all organized and on track. And then everyone is willing to revamp. And just this year, with Project Aware going away, we kind of had to reboot how we do ISS. We no longer have that person. And my teachers, they step up every time. And this year, Ms. Harris, she's going to take over this reteach process. And we kind of change how we're doing things. No one just leaves it as is. It's constantly changing and evolving to something that we think is better. So I think that's what would make it an excellent program for any other school, is that if what we're doing doesn't work, we can figure out a different way to help them get that same goal achieved.
You go right.
Did you say that bus drivers have access to do that, or do they just, for instance, if they wanted to give points or a warning, would they just come to you?
Yeah, so I actually have some bus aides who email me when kids deserve points, and I just pop them in there. So the cooks will tell us things, custodians will give points.
Looks like you give more points towards the good than the bad, so.
Oh, yeah, we try to, and we have some teachers who are way better than others, of giving points. And they all will own whether they're good at it or not.
That's good, though, it balances it out.
Yeah, and so if I know a teacher forgets to give points, Ms. Harris is good at it as well, hopping into a classroom and be like, you guys are all on task. I'm giving this whole class a point today. Kind of hitting them up with things like that. When we go on field trips, every time we go on field trips, people brag on our kids. And I load them up.
I think with the points, we don't freely give them.
Yeah.
It's not like, just because you showed up today with your homework, I'm giving you a point. If there's behaviors that we're seeing the recognitions with, a lot of times we'll utilize that last point to enforce the positive. So if I see the students are forgetting their homework, I may say, hey guys, one day this week I'm going to give points for having your homework. And so all week I get stuff turned in and I give those positive points at some point. But it's not every time the student expects points to be given.
Everyone doesn't get a trophy.
Well, it's a good tool to have.
And we do try to have a focus. So each week we'll tell the students, this week we're looking for turning in your homework. And then teachers, that kind of helps focus our teachers as well. And we give those weekly rewards. So if you earned one in that focus, if you earned a point in that focus, you're entered for a drawing. And the same thing with staff. If you gave points for the focus, you're entered in for a drawing.
Gail, what can we do to make it stronger for you?
Ooh, I love that question. So with the ending of Project Aware, that was a lot of our financial support that paid for live schools. It paid for Smart Pass, which is the sign out, when you go to the restroom, it's an online sign in, sign out program that just helps the kids know people are paying attention. And then all of our crazy days, our fun activities. So there is a great chance that we may be asking for, some help with funding or continuing to carry on. Mr. McCown has been really helpful this year with that transition and trying to make sure we still have what we need. You were there back in the Fall Fest days when we had crafts for the kids to do, and just purchasing those small things that aren't much dollar-wise to the board, but they're huge to our middle schoolers is a big support.
But anytime you think of something that you think would be a cool reward, you know our kids, when we come out for Wellness Day, they love fishing in your pond and things like that. Just help and support that way, encouraging our kids, or if you see something happen, if you're at a sporting event and you see something good, just letting us know. Anytime that you just brag on our kids, they like that because they know it gets back to us.
Okay, I have one more question, and however you do this is fine, but how are you placing students on that leadership team? How, as a student, how do I get there?
Okay, so you would have to fill out an application
Okay.
to be on that team. And then we have a team that kind of sifts through those applications. I don't think we've ever had that vote yet, have we?
No,
Yeah.
we kind of revamped, it was a student council before, and Mrs. Dunkel and I kind of revamped it a couple years ago. So they do applications, fifth and sixth grade also get recommended by their teachers because fifth graders aren't super comfortable to fill out an application yet. We have had several actually fill it out. We typically pick 5 fifth graders, 5 sixth graders, and this year we picked 10 seventh graders and 10 eighth graders. So we've done a couple different things, but typically we try to start them on that application process to give them that first experience.
Yeah, so a lot of the things we do, you will find that we make our kids fill out applications for the Adventure Club trips. They have to put some legwork in to get to do those things. So if they fill out an application and they kind of sloughed it off and didn't take it seriously, that could prevent them from doing some of the things that they want to do. So it kind of teaches them that importance of doing a good job on that paperwork.
Any other questions? Excellent program, guys. Excellent.
Stop by and visit us anytime. We'll show you through. We'll put you to work.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Great job.
And congratulations. Yeah. Okay, so we have no delegations this evening, so we are down to the agenda proper. First is approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the July 6, 2026 organizational and regular meeting minutes?
So moved.
Any questions, comments, corrections? Here none, we have a motion to approve the July 6, 2026 organizational and regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Down to payment of invoices. Do I have a motion to approve the payment of invoices in the amount of $104,951.62?
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So we have 5 runs of expenditures for your consideration tonight. The first on 6/30/2026 in the amount of $150, and this is Tyler Technologies DMV checks. The next run on 7/9/2026 totaling $31,352.86. Noteworthy on this, we have our Mon Power bill and UMR Dental Vision premiums. Then the next on 7/10/2026 totaling at $248. This is the CLIA laboratory for nurse licensure. The next run on 7/13/2026 totaling $19,317.67. This is our quarterly payment for our for Mrs. Starkey's position that we contract with the West Virginia Supreme Court of Appeals. And then finally, on 7/15/2026, totaling $53,833.09. We had several software subscriptions and then the food bill for our summer feeding boxes that we talked about at the last board meeting. All of these runs of expenditures total $104,951.62.
Any questions on invoices? Here none, we have a motion to approve the payment of the invoices in the amount of $104,951.62. All in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Budget supplements, need a motion to approve budget supplements in the amount of $35,123.20. So moved. Mr. McCown.
2 supplements for your consideration. The first in the amount of $150 is a WVDE grant for pre-K digital curriculum. And the second in the amount of $34,973.20. This is a federal IDEA grant for new transition specialist position These two supplements total $35,123.20.
Questions on them, on budget supplements?
Yeah, for the IDEA grant, does that grant cover the total expense of that program?
Well, when we redid the position for the special ed coordinator, those duties are part of that coordinator's position, and Mrs. Brown wrote that grant. So all of this funding is going to be a part of that person's salary, but they'll have other duties to deal with that aren't necessarily transition specialists. But this grant will go towards that position's salary.
Other questions? Here none, we have a motion to approve budget supplements amount of $35,123.20. All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. And this evening we have no budget transfer, so we're down, need a motion to approve the monthly financial report.
So moved.
Mr. McCall?
So I don't have a whole bunch to add here, but on the first page, as she always has, she has listed cash and total investments. And then you've got total revenue and total expenditures on the first page. I will let you peruse this, and then when Mrs. Cummings is back with us next time, if you have any specific questions, we'll let you pose them. We were worried with this storming and things with flooding, and
Yeah.
she didn't want to get on the wrong side of the stream and not be able to get home. So
Can't say I blame her.
Yeah, and if you look at this at your leisure and you have a question during the week or whenever, Karen's always more than happy to take your telephone call, talk to you about it. Any questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve the monthly financial report. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Okay, I need a motion to approve the purchase of a 77 passenger Thomas Safety Liner C2 school bus from Matheny Motors for an amount of $172,880.56. Mr. McCown.
So this ended up coming our way and being a pretty good deal. This is last year's bus price. And another school system had previously ordered this bus and then ended up not taking ownership of it. So this bus is already built, and we could potentially get this probably by Christmas. And again, this is last year's price. This is a lift bus. The only other lift bus that we've had it for a number of years, and it is getting towards the end of its useful life. So this will replace that and go on another route. So I'm happy that we were able to get that deal. Not only is it going to save us a little bit of money of what the current year's bus price would be, but since it's already built, we'll get the bus a lot sooner than we would have too.
Questions? Looking over the equipment, it looks like it's pretty well equipped.
Is it electric or?
No, it's
No,
it's diesel.
Okay.
The only difference with that is they take out 4 seats, and then the place of those 4 seats, it's got the wheelchair lift that
Very good.
could lift the wheelchair and then mount that there. So you lose some seating there, but
Yeah,
then it's
but
got
it's
the
great
lift.
to have the lift,
Yeah.
yeah.
Other questions? Here none, we have a motion to approve a 2027 77 passenger Thomas Safety Liner C2 school bus from Matheny Motors at the price of $172,880.56. All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Okay, we're down to routine business. And under resignations and leave of absences, I need a motion to approve the resignation of Kayla Kimes, cheerleading coach, Wirt County Middle School, effective May 11th, 2026.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
Now, the letter is in your packet. Appreciate the work that she's done for us, coaching various things over the years.
Questions? Hear none, we have a motion to approve the resignation of Kayla Kimes, cheerleading coach, Wirt County Middle School, effective May 11th, 2026. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Under employment, need a motion to approve Kelly Flanagan as sixth grade teacher at Wirt County Middle School, effective for the 26-27 school year, and that is upon completion of her required paperwork.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So, yeah, Mrs. Flanagan is the successful candidate for the sixth grade position that was just vacated and posted, and I don't know that her second grade team is terribly happy to see her go, but she was an excellent second grade teacher, and I have no doubt that she will do an excellent job in her new position.
Questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve Kelly Flanagan, sixth grade teacher, Wirt County Middle School, effective for 26-27 school year. And that is based upon completion of her required paperwork. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Okay, now we need a motion to approve the employment of Samantha Delaney, bus aide, Wirt County Schools, effective for the 26-27 school year. And that is also based upon completion of her required paperwork. So moved. Mr. McCown?
So we did have a bus aide resignation, and that has been posted, and Mrs. Delaney is the successful bidder on that position.
Questions? Here none, we have a motion to approve the employment of Samantha Delaney, bus aide, Wirt County Schools, effective for 26-27 school year, contingent upon the completion of her required paperwork. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. New business. Need a motion to approve the Wirt County Board of Education future two-year meeting schedule updates, April 20 through 27th, 2027, November 9th, 2027, and December 14th, 2027. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So the last time, for whatever reason, I think it slipped all of our minds, we didn't do the second year's November and December dates, and then there's a statutory meeting that Mrs. Cummings has to have that we had neglected to include, and we have fixed that, and then bring it all back to you for you to make those amendments in your two-year board meeting schedule.
Questions about it? Not really a change, it's just cleaning it up.
Yeah. Just making it official.
Any questions? Here none. I'm sorry, Darren.
Okay, so, the one in April, that's, statutory for that date?
Yes.
Okay. On the the 20th of April. So April, we're gonna have 3 meetings that month.
No, I think in the list that's in your packet, I think they would have, there's only 2 meetings in April, one on the 20th and one on the 27th.
Okay.
Yeah. Other questions? Okay, here none, we have a motion to approve the Wirt County Board of Education future two-year meeting schedule updates, and that'll be April 20th and 27th in 2027, November 9th, 2027, and December 14th, 2027. All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Sherry, you'll post those on the website, right? If they're not already. Okay, down to number 2. Need a motion to authorize an extracurricular position, special education site coordinator, Wirt County Middle School.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So back in RIF season, we ripped this position because the way that was posted before, it had a lot of the school improvement things, where the middle school was a school improvement school. And since it got off of that list this last cycle, we had to go back and do some changes for that. And Carla and I both must be getting old because we forgot to bring that back to authorize that, and that's just cleaning this up. This special education site coordinator is the same that the position. It had those extra duties taken out of it, and then it's in line with what the other two schools have. So bringing that back to you to authorize that tonight.
Questions? Here none, we have a motion to authorize extracurricular position, special ed site coordinator for Wirt County Middle School. All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Need a motion to approve the contract for our shared child nutrition director services. Mr. McCown.
So, Mr. Malonis did take that around. The one in your packet isn't signed, but he does have a signed from all the other superintendents. And just to refresh everyone's memory out there, we do share a child nutrition director with Roane County and Calhoun counties, and then all of us split the cost of that position. So we've done this for a number of years. On the second page in your packet, it's got the breakdown of what each county's portion of that would be. And I will point out to the board that that's not just salary, but that includes all of his fringe benefits and everything, totals that final amount.
Questions? It's a good deal for us.
Yeah, very good deal.
It's fair.
Good deal for us. Otherwise, we'd be paying that whole amount
We'd be
ourselves.
paying a whole salary.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the contract for our shared child nutrition director. All in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. I need a motion to approve Communities in School, the CIS District Memorandum of Understanding, the West Virginia Department of Education. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. McKim.
So we've been participating in communities and schools for some time, but each year we have an MOU with them that describes what they're going to put forth in the program and what the county agrees to put forth. And to my knowledge, none of those provisions when the program has changed. This is just bringing this back to you for approving the CIS for another year.
Questions? Okay, we have a motion to approve the CIS MOU with the WVDE. How's that? Save myself some thought. All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. We do like our jargon. Number 5, need a motion to approve the 26-27 professional substitute for rehire, and that is Stacy Barnhart.
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
So this and the next, if they didn't return their letter saying that they wanted to sub for us when we brought the whole big list, and they have subsequently done that, we are bringing those folks back to you, board meeting by board meeting, if they've returned their intent to sub, and that's the case for this and the next item.
Questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve Stacy Barnhart for 26-27 professional substitute for rehire. All in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Need a motion to approve Steve Frame as bus operator and Amber Hale as school aide, instructional aide for 26-27 service substitute for rehire.
So moved.
Mr. McCown? Same thing.
Same thing. They just now returned letter to intent to work for us for next year, so we'll bring them back to you.
Questions on either one of these? I should have asked if anybody wanted them pulled out. Apologize for that. Okay, we have a motion to approve Steve Frame as bus operator and Amber Hale as instructional aide for 26-27 school year as service substitutes for rehire. All in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. Okay, we have no out-of-county open enrollment applications, so we're down to volunteers and chaperones. Now, Mr. Moore, you can or you do not have to, because this is not, there is no money tied to this, but you do what makes you feel
I'll go ahead and excuse myself.
good deal. Okay, we have a need a motion to approve volunteers and chaperones for 26-27 school year, and that is Lacey Moore, Wirt County Primary Center. Do I have a motion? Any questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve volunteer chaperones for 26-27, and that is Lacey Moore at Wirt County Primary Center. All in favor say aye. 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 Opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion carries. The reason I said that, Mr. Moore, I asked that specific question of the attorneys, and they said that when there's no fiduciary, when there's no money tied to it, that a board member and they're a member of a class, which these people are, then the board member can vote on somebody that's in their family. But at the same time, if anybody would ever make noise about it, they can, because yeah. So it's not illegal to do that, or ethical, I guess. It's no matter legal. Okay, so we're down to board concerns, and I'll start with Mr. Lowe.
I'm good.
Ms. Sherlock.
So, one of the things I was thinking about today when we had the pictures of the track students is that almost every meeting, we take a picture of the achievements of our students. And now that we have a new meeting spot to do it,
Absolutely.
I'm thinking if we had a instead of just a plain background, if we use this opportunity to put our vision, our motto, or something in a spot where we know we're always going to get those pictures, then every time it's in the paper, we would be able to we have to pick one reinforcing message that we would see on social media and newspapers time and time again. And since we have a blank canvas, that'd probably be a good idea.
Great idea.
That's a good idea.
Also, I thought you were going somewhere else with that. When we take those pictures, it would be nice to hang those pictures. I mean, whether it's here, you know, when we have a group come to us, when we make that, you know, pictures aren't hard to make anymore. And stick it in a frame or whatever, and we'll start hanging those up throughout the building of visitors that come to us. That's where I thought you were going. I like your.
It's a
I
great
think
marketing, branding.
it is.
And then whatever I would be comfortable with whatever you thought would be the most useful to put that message
Yeah,
out.
absolutely.
Great idea.
I said like our motto, our vision, but
Yeah.
whatever message would be most useful that we want to reinforce.
Mr. Moore.
Nothing at this time.
And I do not have anything. I went to the President's Retreat at Glade Springs, long drive. It was interesting. Lots of people did not retain their seats. It was like a new crowd. Lots of presidents and just board members did not retain their seats. But I think that's the political winds that we're in right now. Yeah. But I do not have anything else. Just a reminder, our next meeting is August the 4th, 2026, right here at the 50 Senior Circle. Makes Mark and I feel at home, right? Senior Circle. At 6 o'clock. Mr. McCowan, what's the chances you think that we'll have an extra meeting in August to get people hired? Do you see that happening?
It depends how things shuffle.
Okay. Just keep that in your mind. We might end up having an extra meeting in August so we can be staffed when we open up. Okay, with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. We're adjourned.
Hey, Sherry, I know with the whole water stuff, is there any way